Okay, today we're going to be on Unit C in your book, and in Unit C, um, what's introduced is the concept of Microsoft Office in general. Office is really powerful. Office is one of the most used pieces of software on all computers, and it is for ag students. It is really relied heavily on in our classes. And in the ag world, just being able to deal with different kinds of data and different situations, the Microsoft Office software is really helpful, which is a big reason why we have you deal with this in computers and agriculture. So there's some objectives that you can see also in the beginning of Unit C to introduce you to Office Professional, how to start an app, what are some common features between Office software, so the software that's within Office. So we'll use some of those things. So we'll see that. The first thing you need to know is that what I'm using is called Office Professional. It's the one of the fuller featured versions of Office. There's lots of different kinds of versions. A lot of what you see here will be also contained in your Microsoft Office if you have purchased that through the student discount program, or if you're on campus, this is what you'll be dealing with. So Office is a suite of programs, which means it's a collection, it's a set of lots of different programs, some of which are going to be more important to you than others. So you can see that we've got things like Word, Excel, Access, PowerPoint, Outlook, and all these kinds of things. The other additional feature with Office 2013, is that now they've integrated you into working with the cloud. So in some of the other units we talked about what cloud computing was, and Office is really trying to push towards working in the cloud, or enabling you to have the tools that you need to work wherever you are, and that includes some features that are built into Office that help you work in the cloud in different ways, sync your files between different computers and those sorts of things. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. So there's several programs within the Office suite, and it also typically, when you buy it, comes with access to what they call SkyDrive. They're basically their cloud file storage space, and the Office web apps, which are they don't have as much bells and whistles, but they do almost all of the regular day-to-day word processing or Excel spreadsheet manipulating or PowerPoint making that you would need to do. It's basically like two versions back of Microsoft Office that lives in your browser. So what is Office? What is the suite of programs? We've got Microsoft Word for word processing, and that just means typing or dealing with words, dealing with any amount of words and arranging them on a page. That's what word processing means. Excel is a spreadsheet, and spreadsheets deal with all kinds of data or lists or things you need to calculate, data you need to keep track of. Microsoft Access is we're going to deal a little bit with that in this class. It's a very good manager of lots of different kind of data. So one of the applications of Access in the ag field is that you can, for instance, keep track of clients that you may have, or animals that you may have within Access, and you can go at any time and ask questions of that database, or what's called query that database for information. So it's a database program. PowerPoint is a presentation software, and we're using PowerPoint. We're in PowerPoint right now. It kind of has an orange palette to it, so they're starting to distinguish between applications in their suite by the colors that they have. Outlook is for calendaring and also email and keeping contacts straight. Outlook is really powerful in organizations, because organizations have lots of different contacts and email things that they have to keep up with, and calendars, and it synchronizes all of that in one place. So for instance, at Northwest College, we use Microsoft Outlook and Microsoft Server products so that we can set meetings with different individuals and things like that. Publisher we're going to use in here. Publisher is a little bit more of a creative software that you can use for word processing and the inclusion of images, and it gives you a little bit more freedom than you would typically find in Microsoft Word. And then OneNote. OneNote is an excellent program for students to get started with, and provides you a digital place to keep track of your digital stuff, so papers that you're collecting, information that you're collecting that you need to keep organized and tagged and in folders and stuff like that. OneNote can capture information off the web and information from a lot of different sources. So we'll look at a couple of these. So here's Word, and we'll see Word more. A spreadsheet can deal with all kinds of data, so it's got both words and alphabetic information as well as numerical information, has the ability to do various levels of math, of calculations and statistics. It also can make really nice charts, and charts can then be placed inside of things like PowerPoint. So one thing you need to know is that all these programs talk to one another, so that the information that the data that the chart that you create in something like Excel can be placed inside a Word document or inside a PowerPoint document, and they can share images and things like that. This is Access. So you can see that with Access you might have a customer database with their name and information in there, and you can quickly find all the customers from Washington and communicate with them individually as opposed to customers from the rest of the nation. So Access is kind of a nice software like that. You start an Office app just like you start any other kind of application that you might want to start in Windows by pressing the Start menu. I think, yeah, I can reach it here, and going to All Programs. Typically Office 2013 is in there, and you see that we have a lot of different programs within the Office suite, and you can start those by just clicking on any one of those programs. Okay, so usually when you start a program like that, it's going to show you a list of templates, and templates are just pre-made files that you can arrange and rework however you would like to. So you'll see the screen capture here of when you open Word for the first time, it will, or when you open Word, it will give you, and you open it just as an application, it will give you options as to the templates that are available for you to choose from. So that's what a template is, and usually Office will open up with selecting one of those, unless you've clicked on a file that is that kind of file. So if I click on a Word, if I download a Word document and then double click on it, that will open up Word. It won't ask me about templates. It'll just open up right to that document. In all of the Office apps, and this is really important, in all the Office apps, there is this ribbon area up here, and there's things that are common about all these apps. So whether I'm in Word or Excel or PowerPoint or Access, it's all going to have the same type of look. Now the color scheme is going to be a little bit different. You're going to know what application you're in by this notation right up here. If it's a P or a W or an E, you're going to know whether or not you are in Excel. So in all of these applications, you have similar items. So you have the quick access toolbar up here that holds things that you might need, like it says, quick access to. So you can rearrange what you want on here. So there's a save button, an undo button, then you have this repeat button, and you have a slideshow button. And these differ based on what program you're in, but these are the things that you might need quick access to. You might want to use over and over again, and you want them always to be displayed. You always have this Home tab, which contains most of the commonly used items in that program. It'll look different for each program, but there'll always be the Home tab here. You've got a bunch of different other tabs as well. If for some reason your screen looks like this, you see those tabs here, and when you click on one of those tabs, it'll reveal what's in that tab, but once you start working again, it'll disappear. If you want to always have that tab up there, then you can double click on this, and it will continuously show the tabs and what they contain up there. So that's a nice little feature. Again, you got the title bar that shows you the name of the document that you're currently working in. You've got some display options up here. This whole area is called the ribbon area. So within a tab, you have a ribbon with lots of different kinds of controls. On the Home button, you've got things that are similar, like the clipboard is always going to be similar in all the applications. If there's ever this small little box right here, this is going to tell you that there is a dialog box that's related to that. So there's additional controls that you can get to related to this, to that little module right there. Some other things on the bottom, you've got status bar, you've got the ability to zoom in and out. This is almost on all of the this is on all of the Office programs. You've got some different kinds of view that are available per program, and these will differ, but there will always be a view area below here that changes the kinds of views that you have. You've got a status bar here that tells you exactly where you are in the document, maybe what page you're in, maybe what slides you're on. Sometimes it can display other things like word count and those sorts of things. So these are all common to each one of the Office applications. Let's see, I don't think that we're going to deal with that because we talked about that a little bit. The zoom controls and so forth. Quick access toolbar. A lot of all this stuff is laid out in Unit C. So if you want more information about each one of these, keep reading through Unit C, and you'll see more documentation on what each one of these does. This is just talking about how to make the quick access toolbar into something that you can use that has your most commonly used information in there. When you go to save a file, what it does is it switches into what's called background mode or backstage mode, and this gives you a lot of information for how to, or a lot of options, a lot of controls about what you want to do with that document. So just the general information on this document, who was it used by, who originally created it, are there protections on this, if you want to create a new document, open another document, save this, you want a different file type, you can do save as, printing, exporting, account, if you're linking it up with Microsoft Drive, SkyDrive, and those sorts of things, you can do that. So Backstage is kind of a nice different feature that takes you out of the document editing mode and into the mode of what do you want to do with that document, where you're going to save it, and so forth. So your book again walks a little bit more through that as well. If you need help in a document, of course, first of all, there's this little icon up here that will get you into the help. Will bring up the actual help. There's also, as you're going through a document and clicking on things and highlighting things, there will be more help that's available, what's called context-sensitive help available as well. Here you can just search about what you need help with, like delete slide, and it'll bring up documentation on how to delete slides, how to rearrange them, and those sorts of things. So sometimes you can have, like I said, what's called context-sensitive help. So these things are brought up to help you with that particular thing that you're trying to get done. That's context-sensitive help. Let's see. I think that's about all. In terms of exiting an app, making sure you save an app is kind of important throughout the time that you are working on an application. And then, of course, just hitting that X, or you can go File and Close. Either one of those ways are acceptable to close a document. We won't talk much about sharing your saved documents. You can export them. There's all different kinds of ways. If you've got Outlook connected to a server of some kind, you can instantly share a document right from here without necessarily opening up Outlook. So that's just a little overview of the similarities of things that you'll see in the Office suite of applications. And you can do some further reading in Unit C, and that'll help you get a little bit more used to the Office suite itself and some of the things that are similar, and how, like I said, how to change things like the Quick Access Toolbar. These up here don't necessarily lend themselves to being changed, but your Quick Access Toolbar for the tools that you might use regularly that you want to have instant access to, you can use there. Hopefully this has been enlightening for you on just how to use, or how to be able to navigate around all of the Office applications.